Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. You'll see this face, you'll hear this voice. She loud. It's 8 a.m. It's Saturday. You know what that means? It means it's time for Solid Saturday. So good morning, good morning, good morning. We are here and we are back on schedule. So good morning, good morning, good morning. Today is going to be a great day because we serve a great God. It is what it is, right? The more you say it, the more it becomes. So today is going to be a great day because we serve a great God. So good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, Rufus. Good morning, Shaka. And I think I got everything. Yep. Okay, so good morning and kingdom blessings, everyone. I am your host, CHERISE Stevenson, and welcome to Solid Saturday. Oh, how's everybody doing? So, Solid Saturday is a platform of growth and encouragement that was birthed from the third installment of Unnamed and Unwanted. I Know Who I Am, the process to positivity. It is not the only process, but it is a process on our way towards bigger, better, greater. So we use this moment not as a mirror to look at ourselves, but to look within ourselves through our weekly readings of aspirations, inspirations, and affirmations that we speak over ourselves. This is our third year, season 4, and this season has a theme of how bad do you want it, and then we extended it to ask you, do you really know what you want? So as a mentor and a guide, we help each other find joy and live life with intention and purpose, and that's what we do. But for the month of June, we have been celebrating our men. I'll clap for it. I will clap for it. I will clap for it. Good morning, Monique. In honor of Father's Day, and simply because men really don't have an outlet, they don't have a mentor, they don't have freedom of speech, so to say. Nobody really understands how they feel. Nobody knows what to do, what not to do, how to approach. They need a moment to get it off their chest. So we've been giving men an opportunity to be celebrated and supported, learn some real good values and golden nuggets, as my Archbishop Brown would say, golden nuggets. And been given some really, really good information. And we're going to get back into that in a little bit, but this is what's going on. We've also celebrated me, and we're still celebrating behind the scenes. It was my birthday. Thank you to each and every one of you who have wished me well and are still wishing me well. So, disclaimer, month of June, you don't have to say belated from June 1st to June 30th. It's my birthday. So, just say happy birthday. Okay? So, take the burden off the folk, right? So, I'm always late with these doggone comments. I'm getting better, though. I'm going to get better next season. I got homework. My homework is to get better. See, we all got homework over the summer. So, yes, ma'am. Oh, sorry. Somebody just texted me. Yes. Sorry, yo. Hold on. I'm coming. Right, so of course, we are praying. We're always praying. My list of prayer don't change. You can add to it, but we're always praying one for another. We're praying for our government. It's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes. Everybody's focused on President Biden's son being arrested, but are y'all aware that there are treaties being signed between the countries at war who are ganging up against us? And we're supposed to be their alliance? It's a lot going on. We got to continue to pray for our government that they make the right choices. And then we got to pray that we stay connected to the one and only, our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, to keep us covered. It's a lot going on. We're still praying for our children. It's the ending of the school year. Please find something for your children to do. If you take them to the park, keep your eye on them. See if they can just get out of town or at least get a job. Keep them busy. Keep them involved. Keep them out of harm's way to the best of your ability. Goodness. We're praying for our churches, our leaders, our pastors. Good morning, Divine Destiny Cathedral. Bishop Jones, First Lady Jones. I love you guys. My parents, Nanny and Dad, love you guys. If you don't know what to pray for them because they have to deal with me. So I tell you, but everybody needs to be encouraged. The encouragers need to be encouraged. So pray for your churches, your leaders, your pastors, one for another. I have a few birthday announcements because I forgot on my list of 99 people that I had last week. So let me shout them out real quick. Birthdays and some graduates. One of my other nieces, Chastity, her birthday is coming up. One of my newest staff members, Rob, his birthday came. I didn't know, so it was my fault. And my other friend, Deacon Brown, that's what we call him, his birthday's coming up. My girlfriend, Yvette, her birthday came and gone. One of my nearest and dearest friends, Lillian, is graduating today from not seminary, but something in that realm, from Bible school. That's what it is, Bible school. She's graduating today. And my girlfriend, Titi, I don't know if she's going to be on or she's listening, but today is Soul Fam's Rui's Basketball Classic. Is the closing of her program for the summer. And they have a big tournament today. So shout out to all the participants there. Everybody's a winner at the end of the day, but only one will walk away with the trophy. So I hope they have a good time, safe travels, and all that we say and do. Trying to think if there's anything else I want to say before I turn this over. Again, happy Father's Day to all the fathers who watch, who join in, replay YouTube. I try to hit up as many as I could because we do have some great men out here, y'all. Every dad is not a deadbeat. They're not. Some men, oh Lord, the trash talking for the basketball tournament has started. Oh Lord. Oh Jesus. All right, so we are to cheer for Crown Heights. I don't want to say they're gonna lose, but they're not gonna do well because the Bronx don't play that. I'm a BX girl, Titi. I don't know. I'm on the other side. You know I love you though, but I'm for the other team. I gotta represent Rui. I gotta represent Steve-O. I'm sorry, Titi. I'm not gonna put up the post that she just put up. I gotta represent Steve-O. We had the winning basketball team when we was in high school. So anyway, let us know the score next week. So yeah, so again, happy Father's Day. Like I said, I know some great men. All men are not deadbeats. All men, there are some men who want to be with their children. I hope you ladies did what I asked of you. I hope you did it. Right? So We have been celebrating men, and we even having a guest speaker, JAMEL Lewis. And again, I'm here with fresh paper and pen because I be writing. He be speaking and I be writing. I know that's bad English, but that's what I be doing. And for the past couple of weeks, we learned about men being voiceless and how to get their voice back, and women what we need to do and when to speak, when not to speak, how to listen. Then the week after that, we was taught about respect and what a respectable man looks like and what we as women should look for and how a man is to respect and be respected. It's a lot. It's a lot that goes on in these 45 minutes. I be telling y'all, catch it, catch it, catch it, catch it. So he's here. He's back with us. I'm still celebrating. I'm just celebrating in the background. So last week he wasn't with us because it was a celebration for me. Thank you to all again who celebrated me. But JAMEL Lewis is back with some more golden nuggets for us women and to encourage and support and celebrate our men. Again, I have no idea what he's talking about, what his topic is. So I'm just as surprised and unlearned as you guys are. But by the time he's done with us, we have all have learned a valuable lesson. So without further delay, I am now bringing to the platform none other than JAMEL Lewis. Y'all say good morning to JAMEL.
Hey,
Good morning, Mel.
good morning, cuz. Good morning, good morning, and happy birthday month to you. You know,
Thank
I,
you.
I want you to celebrate with the biggest smile because you got the biggest heart.
Oh,
I want this to be just a month that people really celebrate just how good you have been to people because you've been good to a lot of people, and I know that I appreciate how good you have been to me. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, it's a poor frog that doesn't praise their own pond. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I'm praising my family, and I'm saying, yo, I love you, and I appreciate you, and I thank God for everything that you've done for me. And hey, I'm here for you, yo.
I
Got your back
know.
always.
Come on, don't make me cry. I got lashes on.
Hey, hey, I'm just speaking from the heart, speaking from the heart.
I
And
appreciate that so much.
hey,
Thank you.
you're wonderfully welcome. And good morning, Solid Saturday. How are you guys? It's great to be with you guys again this morning. Um, and today, I really want to talk. We still in Men's Month. We still got about another 2 weeks to go. So I really want to deal with something that I think will help a lot of us as men, and it'll help you women as well have a more clear understanding on how men work. Okay, uh, today, what I really want to focus on is the measure of a man. The measure of a man,
Hmm.
and one of the greatest measures of any man is how they operate in difficulty. You will get to see just what type of man the person that is in the situation is. And you have to understand that if we do not flourish in difficult times, it says that there is a lack of leadership from us as men. We as men, we must learn how to make difficult times our playgrounds. We must learn how to create out of the chaos. We've got to learn how to do that because when we learn how to do that, don't you know that the women will follow us all the way to the ends of the earth when they see that we can transmute difficulty into wonderful times. You'll take the dirt and you'll make it a beautiful place where you can grow wonderful gardens. And a lot of times, men, we can't transmute because we've already been sabotaged from the beginning by crazy teachings and by a lot of things that people say and a lot of opinions. You know, one of the things that we must learn is that from the cradle to the grave, there is a battle for your mind. From the cradle to the grave, the minute you come out, is someone telling you how to think, what to think, how to do. Don't feel like that. Don't do that. Oh, don't believe. Oh, why won't you? No, you got to do it this way. Oh, no. And you've got to begin to, as you mature, you have to find your way in finding who you are. And that in itself starts our journey with difficult decisions. We've got to learn at a certain age to tell mama, hey, mom, sorry, I'm a man now. I have to start making decisions for myself. We have to, at some point in time, have to tell our women, hey, hold on, shorty. Hold on 1 second. Let me figure it out. I got this. And it's not that we refuse the help. It's that we are developed through our decision-making process as men. And if men are never in positions to make decisions, then we will never end up learning how to make good decisions. So we've got to learn how to really begin to work through our decision-making process. You have to ask yourself, does this help me? Does it profit me? Does it put me in an advantageous position? If you have not positioned yourself for the advantage, you have already been disadvantaged. You must discipline yourself for the advantage, so that when I make a choice, I'm making choices that will be advantageous to my future. Choices that will be advantageous to the people that are around me and the people that I love and the people that I revere. But most of all, advantageous to me. Because a lot of times we make decisions based on who's around us and we X ourselves out of the equation. No. You've got to be the first partaker of your decision. You've got to be the first partaker. You've got to know, nah, sorry, can't do that. Nope, that's not comfortable for me. And whatever will be comfortable for you will be comfortable for the people that you interact with. So you have to make sure that you learn how to make difficult decisions, even in church, even with the pastors. If you're not a pastor, I understand, because we teach from this place of, oh, that's why God gave you a pastor, and you gotta come to me. Let me tell you what you need to do. Let me go to prayer for you. No. I'm a pastor. I don't want to have to always go to prayer for you. I want to go to prayer for you, with you. I want you to understand that God ain't going to talk to me about you before he talk to you about you. And we're living in a day where pastors are kind of manipulating people to themselves instead of teaching people how to find themselves. I'm not your drug dealer. I'm not your pusher. I'm not your pusher. I have a whole life of my own that I need to govern. My job is to help you learn how to govern your life in your way. My job is to make sure that I raise in you a desire to be a good leader, not to be Captain Save-A-Hole. Because the truth of the matter is, and I know some people like, oh, you're a pastor and you use these terms. I use these terms because I want everybody. I'm not just talking to Christian people, and I there are people who need to hear it straight. And a lot of times, these pastors have become Captain Save-A-Holes, and we're not talking about women, because there are a whole lot of whole men out here doing a whole lot of whole stuff. So the truth of the matter is, I want you to learn how to find your voice, find your power, find your leverage. Because a lot of times we over here and we're telling men how to find their voice, but then we never put them in a position to have leverage. Yep, this is what you got to tell that woman. Yep, I'm the man of the house. No, you don't usually have to tell a woman that you're the man of the house, unless you chose the wrong woman. You don't have to tell a woman. All you have to do is make the right actions, make the right choices. The happiness of your life is based upon the wisdom of your choice. Make the right choices. Learn how to make the right choices. And also give yourself enough space to make mistakes along the way. It's all right, yo. And I made the right choice that time. I know what to do for the next time. Learn, evolve in your thinking, evolve in your process. And ladies, y'all got to give men enough space to make mistakes. Well, if you don't know where you're going, how you going to lead me? If you know what you're doing, how you going to, I'm going to do myself. Now you're going to be by yourself. Because you don't know how to let people. We are both growing. We are both evolving. We are both becoming. And we don't always get it right. And this is the best thing. You will learn more from the wrong than you will from the right. So you have to allow every moment to be a teachable moment. Every moment must be a teachable moment. Every moment must be a teachable moment. And not only that, we have to remember that wisdom is the principal thing. It really is. But what good is having a whole bunch of wisdom and you don't have the understanding? With all of your getting, get an understanding so you know where to place the wisdom. We got a whole lot of people who have a whole lot of wise quotes and they say wonderful things, but they're not relevant. Whole lot of great preachers preach wonderful sermons, but irrelevant sermons. Whole lot of wonderful politicians quoting and saying all these wonderful things, but they are not relevant because they don't care about what's happening now with you. They just want to perform. We have a whole lot of pastors who have traded pastoring for performing. A whole lot of preachers who have traded preaching for performing. A whole lot of politicians who have traded the wisdom of the politics for the performance of the politics. And being a performer is not a bad thing, but when being a performer is all that you are, it limits your effectiveness with others. Because before you perform, I need to know that you're well studied, that you are well learned, that you are well prepared. What good is having a whole bunch of performances and then when we hear you, we realize you wasn't prepared for this job. You wasn't prepared for this. You wasn't prepared for this relationship. You wasn't prepared for this interaction. You wasn't prepared. No, all you know how to do is perform. Men, we have to be more than performers. We got to be more than bedroom bullies.
Mm.
We have to be, because if we lead with our penis, then we lose our purpose.
Mm.
But when you begin to find yourself steeped in understanding your purpose, knowing your purpose, working your purpose, then your performance will be that much better. It will be that much better. You cannot lead from the bedroom. The bedroom will anesthetize you. It will dim the feelings that you need to take in, because what good is all the pleasure and you have not understood your purpose? When you when you continue to put pleasure above purpose, you make your life that of a performer. And the thing is, once a performer gets to a certain point in their life where they can't perform like they used to, they get thrown away. You've got to learn how to stand in your purpose. Know your purpose. Know thyself. This is another, and I'm being very hard on pastors today when it comes down to molding and dealing with men and people in general, because I want us to understand that you are not teaching men how to be men. You're teaching men how to be slaves. Oh, you know what you gotta make sure that if you're gonna do something, you come ask me first. I gotta make sure that everything's all right. No, if you want to go somewhere, you gotta come ask me first. I gotta make sure that where you going it. So you keep us stuck in a forever state of being children and never maturing to being men, because we're always walking back to you saying, hey, what do you think? What you think? What tell me, is this right, Pastor? Is this right? You emasculate the man in the midst of his maturing. It's like most males never make it to manhood because pastors have emasculated them when in their teenage years. They never make it to manhood. They never make it to manhood. It's even in the political field, but in the political field, it's done a different way. They will push narratives, push bills, push things that will keep you nestled within your conveniences and your comforts. Sometimes a man has to be uncomfortable so we can learn how to bring comfort to our uncomfortability. Sometimes a man has to have some chaos around him so we can call order to chaos. If you don't know how to call order to chaos, what good are you? Again, this is about the measure of a man. The reason why women would follow us, children would want to follow in our footsteps, is because we know how to bring out the best out of any moment. We know how to cultivate the best out of bad situations. And then you also teach your children and the women around you that once you get to a good situation, you know how to maintain it. A lot of men self-sabotage once they make it to the good. They know how to make it out the bad, but they don't know how to maintain the good. Guys, we got to learn how to maintain our good. And the way we may not maintain our good is, number one, through peace. We've got to be at peace with ourselves so that we can be at peace with everybody around us. You've got to learn how to be at peace with yourself. Anytime you see a man that's always complaining, that's always saying something crazy, that's always ready to jump up in somebody's face and fight, that's always, and you don't have no conflict resolution, you are not at peace with yourself. And that is another measure of a man. We've got to take account for who we are as men. Wednesday night I had the pleasure to be on a panel, which, you know, I don't usually like doing panels, but, you know, I don't turn them down because I know I'm not too big not to do it. But I had the pleasure of being on the panel, and the theme was a theme that I did not agree with. And I was wondering, well, how do I say, I don't really agree with this? So the theme was a cry for more. And as I listened to each, I was the last speaker, and as I listened to each speaker, I began to hear what those speakers were bringing to the table, and they were informing us on what crying was. Crying happens after a traumatic incident. Crying happens after a painful incident. Nobody mentioned that crying also happens after a joyful incident. Sometimes you can be so full of joy that tears flow. But they mentioned the trauma. They mentioned the drama. And for me, I understand that there is no need to cry over traumas and dramas, because every trauma has a healing already in place for it. Every drama already has a close to the scene. And there is a new scene that arrives after the close of the last. But if you don't know that, you will find yourself stuck crying. You will find yourself trauma bonding. You will find yourself an emasculated man, because all you know how to do is cry. Oh, Lord help. Lord help. No. We as men, someone used the scripture, and I understood where they were going, but I'm into getting deeper to pull out the greater. They were saying that, you know, David cried out to the Lord, and this one cried out to the Lord. But we have the advantage of being on the outside looking in. David really didn't have to cry because David had a relationship. But David did not know the value and the tightness of his relationship because he was in it. We are outside looking in, and we can see, man, you tight with God. What you crying about? He already figured it out for you, bro. Just keep doing if you know you're doing something you ain't doing right, go the opposite way. If you know you're doing something that you're doing right, keep going that way. We have to take advantage of our ability to look at people, biblical characters, any character on TV, and just look and see that, pull out the wisdom from the matter. You don't have to reenact. We teach this thing to where we teach people how to reenact other people, reenact other people's walks, reenact other people's falls. David was crying. Just because David cried don't mean I gotta cry. Why do I have to cry when I understand, when I have a knowing, and I have an understanding, and I have the wisdom? When I have a knowing, an understanding, and the wisdom, that everything works out for me. Everything works out in my favor. Nothing works against me, but everything works for me.
So, I love that. But let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Dealing with cry, right?
Yeah.
Because I definitely understand what you're saying. Because if we have a knowing, then not that we shouldn't cry, but we shouldn't dwell on the crying portion of the situation at hand. I got you. However, a lot of men struggle with expression or expressing how they feel.
Okay.
And sometimes cry is a part of that as well. So, how do we incorporate? How do we distinguish? How does that? Because I don't want no one to leave the platform in a state of confusion or contradiction. Because somebody, I don't know which body, but somebody's gonna walk away. Well, first you tell us that we're supposed to tap into our feelings and it's okay to cry, and now this dude is telling us not to cry because we sure already know the outcome. So how do we navigate that situation or that thought process? How do we navigate that?
Well, this is how we navigate it. First, we have to understand that there are more feelings than just crying. Most times, people who are telling you, you just got to let it out. You just got to cry. And that's the problem. You know what? You ain't cried. And because you ain't cried, that's what it is. It's all built up and pent up. Why should I cry when I can talk to you about the issue before it gets to the point where it's so overwhelming that I have to cry? Communication is key. And we've bought into this crazy psychology that if you're not crying, you're not getting the feelings out. No, if you're not communicating, you're not getting the feelings out. Because there are times where you could cry all day and you keep on crying because you never feel heard. It's about you being heard. It's about you feeling like someone understands what I'm saying. And not only do they understand, but they make adjustments. If I'm giving you an issue and you don't make the adjustment, eventually, if I keep bringing this issue to you and you never make the adjustment, I'm going to feel like my conversation, my communication is falling on deaf ears. So, yeah, how about we communicate before we cry? How about we there are things that we can alleviate sorrow from our lives through communication. Blessings that makes one rich and adds no sorrow. But y'all keep talking about crying because the world is psychologizing you for pain. You are being psychologized for pain instead of you being psychologized for communication, which alleviates pain. Even in the body itself, when you don't take care of your body and you ignore all of the signals, the body goes through a process. You don't just end up in pain at first. The body goes through a process to let you know, yeah, you ain't heading in the right direction. No, this ain't it. This ain't the move, bro. Start gaining a little weight. Can't breathe a little bit. Woo, get a little. Woo. You can't last as long. You start realizing your body's been sending you signals, but you waited until it was pain. This hurts so bad. You wouldn't have had to cry if you did not ignore the signals. And a lot of times we ignore the signals. Communication is key. And not only is communication key, but understanding what I've communicated is key. Also, you also got to know when to say, I'm not even talking about this no more. I'm moving on and I'm cutting my ties and I'm going forward. Difficult decisions. We think we have to cry because society conditions you to pain. Society conditions you to misery. No, 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 no. We preach scripture and teach scripture through trauma. Christianity is trauma bonding. Religion is trauma bonding, because you always have to go through something to get to something. I'm going through until I can see God move. I'm going to stay right here and take it until I see God move. No, you move, fool. If you see that situation is bringing you pain and issues, you move. I'm waiting for God. What you waiting for God when God gave you all power? And then, you know, oh, come on, we crying out to God for more. We crying out for more. For what? I have given you everything that pertains to life and godliness. He covered both sides. What you crying for? A lot of times, the crying that we see or the crying that people want us to do is really just for attention. We do. Crying happens. Crying and miracles are two things that are amazing. Everybody wants a miracle, right? Everybody wants a miracle. Oh, I'm looking for a miracle. Yeah, I expect the impossible. Yeah, but the reason why you're looking for a miracle is because you mismanaged the blessing.
Ooh.
Miracles are things that we have to pull heavily on our divinity to bring into our reality, because we have mismanaged what was already given to us. Crying is another thing. We've mismanaged our opportunities for communicating. We've mismanaged our opportunities for communicating with the right people. Sometimes you're communicating, but you're telling all the wrong people. You ain't telling the person that needs to hear what you're saying, what you're saying. I will not be a part of anything that only builds drama and trauma in me.
I know that's right. Oh, sorry.
Hey, see, come on and agree with it, cuz listen, I will not be a part of anything that builds trauma and drama in me. And today we are in the traumatic and dramatic church era. Everything is trauma and everything is drama. That's why we got so many crazy, salacious things happening, because we've mismanaged our moments. We've mismanaged our moments because it works better for the performance. We've mismanaged our moments because it works better for the performance. It tells a better story. I don't mind, you know, some people always got, I was brought back from the brink of hell. I was brought back from the brink of death. I was brought back. Nah, I wasn't. Listen. I've had those testimonies because, you know, in the past 4 years, I've almost died twice. But I don't want that to be a majority of my life. I want that to be just a small footnote. I want my life to be boring. You know, when you lead a boring life is when you're doing what you're supposed to do, when you're handling your responsibilities, when you're following the principles that were set before you to bring you to a certain place. You get there with no trouble. You get there with no issue. We only have issues when we decide to do things the hard way. Then now we got to endure hardness like a good soldier. The way, what the scripture say, the way of the transgressor is hard. Oh, see, you would man, you mean so we can't cry for more, God? How can you get more when he said he's giving you all?
Ooh.
What more exists outside of all? I have given you everything pertaining to life and godliness. But we rather be caught up in our human frailties than to embrace our divine right, our divine inheritance, our divine birthright. No, we want that story. We want the story to have all the peaks and valleys and everything to be so, man, this was a great read. Nah, my life ain't gotta be a great read for you. My life has to be comfortable for me. My life has to be comfortable for me and my kid and my grandkids. My life has to be comfortable for me and my woman. My life got to be comfortable. And in order for me to make it comfortable, there are some things that I'm going to have to push away, some thoughts and some principles that I used to embrace that I've got to push away now. I do not embrace crying. I cry when I have to, when I've mismanaged my moments. I cry when joy has been just so overwhelming. Now that's the cry I want. When something is just so overwhelmingly joyful that I just cry, because these are tears of happiness. I get that, but I ain't crying out for more. I got it all. I got everything I need. I've been fit for the journey. I've been fit for the journey. I have been prepared for this. The principles prepare you for whatever you're going through. But when you break the principles come back to break you. And at some point, we've gotten so much into like telling ladies, this is for you. You can't tell a man how to be a man if you ain't never been a man. You can't tell a man, no, this is what it, no, you shut up and you go sit down and put that in your back pocket and you think about what it is that's going to bring out your femininity and your womanhood, your power. Because if I'm depending on you to tell me how to be a man, guess what? I have just asked advice from the weakest link. Because your power is found in femininity. Men, you've got to learn, find other men who are successful in living and glean from them. You don't even have to walk up to them and ask them anything. Just watch their life. Paul said, mark the perfect man. Watch the whole man. The man that has wholeness and healing from. Mark him. Follow what he does. See what he does. And then you begin to make it applicable to your life. You take the meat, you leave the bones. Until we learn how to be men from successful men, we'll always listen to a feminized version of a man, which is a failure of a man. Our feminine, because we are both male and female, our female side is to help us in our creativity, to help us in our ability to be open to things outside of our logic. It's not for us to cry. How is that helping us? Let the women cry while we comfort. And then after we've comforted our women to the point where the tears have stopped, we can take those tears and turn them into triumph. We can take those tears and turn them into testimonies. Listen, you got to have a plan, brothers. And let your plan bring you to a new level of understanding your purpose. And then on top of that, there'll be times when you don't have a plan. But because you know the terrain so well, because you've been in such hard times before, because you've understood how to pull and create out of the chaos, you now see this is the thing. You're creating the female side. out of the chaos. Because now what you have done before, the logic no longer fits because this is something new. So I have to leave my logical brain and tap into my creative brain. I have to leave my logical male side and tap into the feminine creative side. Because I've never been here before. What? Let's begin to make this my playground. Let's get our artistic vibe happening here. There's an artist in you that will take what others will look at your life and deem as a mess, and you can look at it and see an artwork. You can see a masterpiece in it. That's what we have to do. I don't care. I know how to build myself, and I know how to build anybody that come in contact with me, because I always see the masterpiece in it all. Because the master is in me. The mastermind is in me. So all I see are masterpieces. When you understand that you can't build a masterpiece without a mastermind. Most of you are walking around with mastered, R-E-D, minds. Your minds have been conquered. Your minds have been taken as territory. But you've got to master your own mind, your own emotions, your own abilities, your own thought process, your own choices, your own decision making. You've got to do that. And when you do it, guess what? You move outside of your humanity, and you move into your divinity. And guess what? That humanity begins to fall away, and it reveals the divine you that you've always been from the beginning. Humanity was a program, was a conditioning. We are divine. Do you hear what I'm telling you? We are divine. We are divine. You have been programmed to humanity and programmed away from your divinity. You are divine. Me and my father, I and my father are one. If my big brother can say it, then I know I can say it. I and my father are one. But when you separate yourself from your divinity, all you have left is a human frail man. You've got to, Zion, put on your strength. For the glory of the Lord, for the glory of divinity has risen up. It's risen on you. People, put on your strength. Y'all been working from a place of weakness too long. Put on your strength. Put on your strength. Let the weak say, I am strong. Put on your strength. These are the things, and I'm closing because I know we heading here. These are the things that make men. Oh, let's read this. I don't mind disagreements. Can you read that out for me? Because I'm on my screen.
I disagree. There's healing in tears that are released in humans as a whole. There's nothing wrong with men crying. Allow them to feel what they feel and express that emotion because it's there and it's valid. Once it's released, they can then move forward and handle business with a clear mentality.
I hear you, Roberta, but that means you didn't hear when I said that communication. There is no need for tears when I've already communicated. Men cry, and I'm telling you this because I'm a man. Men cry because we feel unheard. Because we feel like what we have been saying has been falling on deaf ears. And now we're at a point that we're about to explode and hurt something. And because we know we can't do that, the tears come. Tears are cathartic. Tears clear out the built up emotion. But what I'm telling you is don't let the emotion build up. Emote, talk, communicate, let it loose. It's just like your heart. If the blood keeps flowing, there'll never be a need for leaky valves, crying. There'll never be a need for heart attacks because of the built-up pressure. There'll never be a need for heart murmurs because the heart is functioning correctly. When relationships are functioning correctly, there will not be need for tears unless they are tears of joy. We do not allow our relationships to function correctly. We allow ourselves to go unheard. Me as a man, and at this age now, I'm not allowing myself to go unheard. If you don't hear me, I move you out the way and I keep on going till I meet someone who will hear me. These are the difficult decisions that men must make, and women. And women. The reason why most people are crying is because the reason why most people cry is because of trauma and drama. Because you have not cut away. The minute you see trauma, cut that crap, cut it. You better move. The minute you see drama coming, you better take the next left, because I don't want to see that drama. I don't want to be a part of that. But we entertain trauma and drama. And then when it gets too much, then we cry. And yes, it helps. It helps to cry. But I don't have to reach that point. I don't have to reach the point of unhealthiness when I can just simply communicate. I can just simply make the best choices for my life. Let me make better choices. Why I gotta cry if I just make better choices? I teach my daughter, my grown daughter, baby girl, keep on making better choices. The better your choice, the less your tears. The better your conversation, the less your tears. The better your communication, the less your tears. We were not meant to live in drama and trauma, but we have been socialized and psychologized into believing that that must be a part of our life. It kills you. Like I said, unless they tears of joy, I don't need that. I don't live by that. And Roberta, that can be that. I'm not saying you can't live by it. You can definitely live by it. You can have as many crying sessions as you need. But for me, that doesn't work for me. I want to live on top and never beneath. I want to live trauma and drama free.
I hope that answered your question, or I hope you understand, Roberta, or if you still have something else to say, we could always finish this.
Yeah.
Off
Yeah,
screen is no love lost, no hard feelings.
None.
But it's
None.
just good conversation and good explanation. And I'm glad that she posted that, because I feel like she may not be the only one.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm glad that's why I brought out that scenario, because it's about, I have this other slogan I say, that I challenge you to make a choice to change. Right? And after hearing this, I'm hoping that someone is challenged to make better choices instead of choosing the trauma and the drama that turns into crying and tears, and realize not that you have to suck it up, man it up, but try to just do better so you don't have to. Unless, like you said, it's just so overwhelming that it does happen. But we are so, sometimes, and you're right, we are molded into crying on an instant, crying at the drop of a dime. And you're right, it really don't have to be that way all the time.
You know what, cuz? Let me bring this to the forefront. In the African American diaspora, within our people, we are not known as criers. We are not known as criers. Within the Caucasian view, the Caucasian psychologist came in and said, "Oh, I know what's going on. You're not crying. Oh, you're not crying." If you look at how the Caucasians handle situations compared to how we handle situations, They can cry on the drop of a dime on anything, about anything, because they are victim oriented. They are victim mentality. No. Listen to me. I remember growing up as a child. How in the black home, no, stop that crying and do what I told you to do. If we simply follow the instructions, there will be no need for tears. White folks didn't want to follow the instruction and still be able to do what they wanted to do, and then use the tears to, it was a way to, and they do it today. They do it today. If you confront a white person and say, I feel like you did me wrong, the first thing you're going to see from a white woman is some tears. We have to see how we have been psychologized as a people. They've turned us into simps and wimps. And like I said, there are moments when you cry. Say if my child dies, there will be tears. That is called for. But we are not mostly tears. Tears come in when it's just something that's completely out of my hands. And I'm trying to tell y'all that it's all in our hands. It's all in our ability and all in our power. We just have to make the right choices and decisions. There's so much to say about how we've been psychologized by the white diaspora. There's so much to say about that, and I wish we had more time, but I know we don't.
Yeah. Listen, we out of time. We are out of time, but this has been good. We have been listening to Jamel Lewis about the measures of a man, and another great session for after talk.
Yeah, definitely.
Like I gotta have an after talk after the talk. It was really, really, really good. Again, here I go again with notes. I tell you, I'm sending you my Staples bill for supplies because it's a good reminder. It's a good lesson in learning and building and changing our perspective on how we see things and how we've been seeing things, and bigger, better, greater. So I'm hoping, because we really dealt with cry today, so I'm hoping the next time a situation arises that we make better choices on how to handle the situation. That's within our control, because there's some things that you can't control. You can't control death. You can't control unexpected health news. You can't control that. But you can control how you respond to certain situations. You can within your limits. So it's very challenging today, because we've been programmed for so long, and that's why I brought that up, because for so long we've been, well, you got to express yourself. The first expression should always be communication, and that's the part that Roberta missed. And it's okay, because it brought up another portion of conversation. But good. I thoroughly enjoyed this platform. Thank you for sharing again and being transparent. You always spark conversation. This is why off screen we only talk 3 times a year, because you always stirring something up. But listen, Jamel will be back next week with some more golden nuggets. And I pray that this has broadened your horizon on how we handle and navigate life. Because we can't say greater is he that's within me than he that's in the world, and then don't operate in that level. Right? So again, thank you, Jamel. It's always been great.
love you,
viewers. Thank you, viewers. We'll be back next week. Again, don't forget, July and August, we are on vacation. And if you need to listen to these sessions again, we are on YouTube under my name, CHERISE Stevenson. So again, until next week, stay hydrated, stay safe, and stay encouraged. Love you. Bye.